Oh, hi, boys and girls. Alfie and I were just having a little chat. You see, Alfie's got himself involved in a competition and he's getting quite excited about it, aren't you? Yeah, I can tell the boys and girls about it. His best friend Charlie has challenged him to a Lego building competition. And the competition is who can build the tallest tower. And you think you're in with a chance, don't you? You've been practicing, I know. And you built some great towers. Some of them fell over, I know, but you are getting better. So how big do you think your tower is going to be? You think it might be taller than the Guildhall building? That's pretty tall. How are you going to get the bits on the top? You're going to climb up? Right. Okay. I think that might be a little bit dangerous because the Guildhall Tower is quite tall. You're quite clever. Okay. But you know, boys and girls, you see some great buildings around. Some are really tall. And if you can get to the top of them and look down, the view is amazing. But the story today is all about a tower. Do you want to hear it? Was it as big as your Lego tower is going to be? Well, I think it was actually bigger than that because it really was quite an amazing thing. Now let's get back to the beginning. Do you remember a few weeks back we had the story of Noah? Yes, he built a great big boat and he had lots of animals on there, that's right. And he was probably very smelly. Yes, it probably was very smelly. Well, after the floods, when Noah and all the animals came out of the ark, God said to them, I want you to fill up the land. I want your children and your children's children to spread out because I've made an amazing world for you and I want you to fill it up. And the people started moving around and they came to one place, a great big flat piece of ground. And they thought, this is nice, let's stay here. And God said, no, I want you to spread out. And they said, no, we'll stay here. And they stayed there. And they stayed there for a long time. And after a while, they said, you know, we are the cleverest, smartest, best people who have ever been. Let's build something so that when people in future years see it, they'll think, what a brilliant people they were. You think it's a bit big-headed? It is a bit, isn't it? Yeah, and God thought so too. But they started building this city and this tower, and they said, we're going to build a tower that'll actually touch the sky. What do you think of that? Can you build a Lego tower that high? You can't touch the sky. You know that, but they didn't know that. They thought the sky was something solid up there that they could reach. But you know that that's not true, don't you, boys and girls? Because space goes on forever and ever and ever. And there's no end to it, at least not that we know. But they thought they could reach the sky. And they started building this tower and it got bigger and bigger and bigger. And as God looked at them, he was quite unhappy. He thought, why don't they listen to me? Why don't they spread out and enjoy this beautiful world that I've made? And God thought, I've got a plan. I'm going to make them spread out. How do you think he did that? You haven't got a clue? No. Well, shall I tell you? Yeah? Yeah, you're waiting. Okay. Well, one day, all the people got up. And to be fair to them, they'd been working very hard. They'd been making bricks and putting them on top of each other and sticking them together. They didn't use cement, they used something like a tar. And they all started working when all of a sudden they realised something was different. Because one of them was saying, bring me some bricks over here. And another one was saying, oh, me doctor who, me pialaka ha, mujhe chai chai. Yeah, he's speaking a completely different language and nobody could understand him. And another one looked at them both and said, que dites-vous, comment ça va? Je ne comprends pas. And they couldn't understand him either. And another one looked at them and said, ah, besi mo gada tea. And they were all struggling to understand each other because they were all talking in different languages. And suddenly they realized that they couldn't live together because they couldn't understand each other. So some of them went over that way, and some went that way, and some went that way, and some went that way. And they all formed little groups. And that was the start of all the nations that we've got today and all the different languages. And you know, we got lots and lots and lots of languages in the world today, haven't we? Some are very hard to understand, yeah. And if you want to speak to them in their language, you've got to learn that language, and sometimes it can be hard work. But you know, boys and girls, it all started because they just didn't listen to God. God said, spread out, fill my world. And they said, nah. So God says, okay, I'll make you spread out and fill my world. And they did. But that place where they built that tower, and it's not there anymore, it fell down. It was called Babel. And Babel means confusion, because God confused them all when they started speaking different languages. You know, boys and girls, it's good to listen when people are telling you to do something important. That's the mistake that people made. They didn't listen when God was telling them something really important. And it's good to listen. Somebody said you got one mouth and 2 ears. You should listen twice as much as you speak. Is that a good thing? You listen well, do you? Right, okay. Well, hope you enjoyed the story. And I hope, Alfie, you do well in your competition. You'll have to tell me who won. You know who's going to win. You are. Well, I don't know. Charlie's pretty good with the Lego as well. So we'll see. Boys and girls, great to see you. See you again soon. Bye for now. And cut.